Was that yesterday or was that 2 days
It was
ago?
2 days ago.
Oh, I thought it was yesterday.
No, because I watched it yesterday. If it happened earlier in the day, then
I think it was like an afternoon game.
Okay.
Yesterday. I could be wrong, but
I'm sorry. If she can't be honest with herself and say that she's jealous, that's her problem. Not a WNBA problem. Not a Chicago Sky problem. That's her problem.
Yeah. I think she's just like incredibly self-centered. I mean, I don't know. I just think she has a completely different worldview than I do for sure. So I don't know. It's
or she drives
me fucking insane though.
Or she's playing the heel role really good and just trying to get super famous.
She is. Yeah, she's doing a great job of being a heel.
She's got us talking about her. I mean, if you think about it that way, I mean, she's winning.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
But from an endorsement perspective, I wouldn't, unless she's, I got to be politically correct here because we're live, but unless she wants to sell horns for a living, I don't know, what she's going to get endorsement wise.
Yeah.
But I don't understand. I don't understand.
Yeah.
It's almost like when Tiger came in. Who was it? Was it Fluff or Craig Stadler? That might be. That like made like a comment and it was like racially based about Tiger. And just like the jealousy around Tiger when he came in. And it's hot garbage. It's just hot garbage.
It was Fuzzy Zeller.
Fuzzy Zeller, there you go.
Yeah, 97. Yeah.
Fuzzy.
I didn't want to speak out of turn, but I do remember that now.
Yeah.
You guys, Brooks,
let's go.
Yeah,
let's fire away. And also, I have the gift cards for whenever we want to send them out to anybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I'll let it. We need to do an announcement. Maybe we'll do an announcement during the show today, or maybe we'll just do another contest here this week. So since this is at the beginning of the podcast, there's going to be a hot contest giveaway: $25 to the Chaucer, $25 to the Pig and Rooster in Canton. You can pick those up whenever we announce that, either at the end of this week or on the next podcast. Go see Brian and Delaware Dave. If you don't know who they are, they've been on the podcast. You can go talk to them and check out the recent podcast we just did with Delaware.
Yeah. All right, so
I got
for Gary Wade to film our lawn furniture, baby. Woo!
So are we drinking? Do I need a beer?
I can go get a beer.
I have a phone cruiser.
You have a what?
Oh man, do you like those better than the Surfsides?
Yeah, I do actually. They're not as sweet, which I enjoy.
I don't think the Surfsides are sweet. I actually prefer the Surfsides, but either way.
What did you say you had?
They're called Sun Cruisers. I think it's a Dogfish product.
Oh.
Or it's the same distributor as Dogfish. I'm not 100% sure.
It's out of somewhere in PA. I can't even pronounce the name of it.
Yeah, it's like a lot.
I don't know why.
It doesn't matter.
Well, I'll go get it.
It's iced tea. But it's a vodka-based drink.
Yeah. Just a quick rundown while Brooks is going to get a beer. We're going to be talking about golf, the U.S. Open. Obviously, we're going to talk about Bryson DeChambeau, Rory McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler, some other guys that were in contention, some other guys that disappointed us throughout the week. We're going to be talking some baseball. We're going to talk the Orioles, guys who have gotten hurt, guys who have been performing well. We're going to talk some injury stuff. We're going to talk about the future schedule of the Orioles, the upcoming schedule, this big series we have against the Yankees coming up. And we're going to talk about Mookie Betts, the Yankees. We're going to talk a little bit about Trevor Lawrence. And then we're going to get into a snake draft. Best chips is today's topic.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll start off with the U.S. Open. Start off with the hottest thing, the freshest thing on the agenda for the day. Bryson DeChambeau wins despite his wild round off the tee. It seemed like he couldn't find a fairway at all. He hit 5 out of his 14 fairways. Still managed to shoot 1 over on this golf course, which was just eating people up all week. So it just unbelievable scrambling out of Bryson. That shot he hit on 18 out of the bunker. I don't know if you've ever hit a 60-yard bunker shot, but it's probably the hardest thing to do in golf. So the fact that he was able to keep that below the hole, give himself an uphill putt inside 3 feet. As soon as he hit that bunker shot, it was over. Rory knew it. You could see it in the back room. What did you guys think about Bryson in particular yesterday? And I'm going to shoot it over to you while I go get a beer.
Cool. Brooks, go ahead, bud.
Well, I don't know if I've actually expressed this on the podcast, but I'm not a huge Rory fan. Just how he plays the crybaby card really well, which really bothers me, and it's always like, woe is me. And we saw it again yesterday when he left pretty much when that ball hit the bottom of the cup. He could have waited there about 10, 15 minutes, congratulated Bryson, and left. Same thing Bryson did to Xander. I think we've all seen the memes on either Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook about how Bryson stayed around last week or last major. And Rory obviously peeled tires trying to get out of the parking lot. So I was super happy for Bryson, especially with what he's done in the past, year and a half, 2 years to turn his complete image around. Because I used to hate him more than anybody probably. The whole Brooks and Bryson thing, I hated Bryson. But everything that he's done and everything he's doing, it seems like he kind of gets it now. So I'm happy for him. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that because I have the opposite view in regards to I love Rory. I love Rory for how he stood up for the PGA Tour. He got burned. He's probably a little scorned from that still, and he won't admit it. He's got the relationship stuff going on that has nothing to do with golf, but it still affects him as a person. I appreciate Rory for who Rory is. I'm with you when I did not like Bryson DeChambeau at all. But damn it, he is completely flipped in my mind, and not that matters to anyone, but I feel like I'm a decent judge of character and can read a person, and he just seems like a person that is completely flipped. Now, hopefully it's real and not fake, but he seems like I was happy for him. And what Rory did yesterday was petty, probably is the best word to put it. So it was a shame because he should have stayed because Bryson stayed for Xander at the PGA.
Yeah, and
so
like, even if he is faking it, like, good for him. He realized like I'm really acting like a douche and making myself look bad. Even if he is faking it, he's trying. I mean,
I think
and
all
also,
the respect in the world. Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead. Oh, one day we're going to have to do a draft of just hot guys. As a heterosexual man, I know it's Pride Month. Bryson DeChambeau is going to be a top 2. He's going to be in the first or second round. All right, we're going hot guy draft one day.
Maybe
Who
next
was it
week.
last week you were talking about in the hot guy draft? Was it James McCann?
James McCann.
Yeah, James McCann. Jimmy Garoppolo's going in there. I don't care if he's still playing football or not. He's in. All right. But anyway, we'll get to that in another date. But we're back to golf.
Yeah, but look, I'm in the same boat. I hated Bryson for a long time. I still don't love him. I think he's kind of it's hard to say because he's such a grinder. He obviously works unbelievably hard at every single facet of the game, whether it's just he was soaking his balls in Epsom salt before the rounds to make sure that they were weighted properly. Like, he takes every small, minute detail and extrapolates it and does whatever he can. So I totally respect the amount of grind and the amount of work that he's put in. I think he comes off kind of like a tool sometimes. But I think that's just kind of his personality. I think he's just, despite the fact that he means well or doesn't mean well, I think he does mean well. I don't think he's a bad guy. I just think he's a little bit of a tool, to be honest with you. But I do respect the shit out of the grind. I do wish we could have gotten a playoff yesterday at the very least. I don't feel like I don't want to say that Rory lost this more than Bryson won this, because Bryson totally. I don't want to take anything away from Bryson at all. But look, you're standing on the 15th tee box with a 2-shot lead. You're at 8 under, and Bryson wins this tournament in regulation at 6 under. So I don't know. I kudos to Bryson. Let's move on to Rory. What the fuck, dude? Jesus Christ! Like birdie 4 out of 5 holes in the middle of the round, made every putt. Didn't look like he was going to be stopped, and then all of a sudden, him and his caddy have a disagreement on the 15th tee. His caddy wants him to hit 8. He hits 7. He hits 7 right in the middle of the green. It bounces over into the back, and he makes bogey. Listen to your caddy. Land it on the front of the green, go up into the middle, and make par. Just a bunch of mental mistakes coming in. Should he have left? No. And I think he would tell you that. But as a person who gambled on him yesterday, I didn't want to talk to anybody after he lost. He's coming second in so many majors, and he's come so close so many times. I can't blame the guy for getting the fuck out of there and just being like, hey, look, I'm not going to say anything good anyway. Let's just get the hell out of here. But
You're a
also,
four-time
I'm
major.
sure he's going to.
You're
I'm
a
sure he's going to
four-time
look
major
back
winner.
on that. Yeah.
Be an adult. Be an adult. You've been an adult for so many other aspects of the golf world, all right, on and off the course. Be an adult. Do your job. And that's part of your job, is to be a good team, for lack of a better term, teammate. Because, I mean, you're all in this together now. Like, let's go.
Yeah, and he's somebody who the PGA Tour has kind of picked and pegged to be the face of the PGA Tour, whether he likes it or not, and he's kind of overtaken that role. Like, that's just not a good PR move. And say what you want. Like, I get it. I'd be pissed too, right? Especially with some of the unlucky shit that's happened to him over the years, in terms of bad bounces. I mean, a lot of it's self-inflicted. I get it.
Yeah.
But I mean, stay there, answer a couple questions, and leave. Like I read a tweet yesterday. Say what you want about Greg Norman, but when he lost that 6 or 7 stroke lead in the Masters, he stayed for, I forget how long they said, like an hour, 2 hours after the tournament, and answered every single question.
Maybe this is apples and oranges, and you guys. But when the ball went through Bill Buckner's legs, people talk about how he sat at his locker and he answered every single question. And Bill Buckner was a phenomenal hitter. I think he's a .299 career hitter. I think he has like a ton of home runs. And he's remembered for one damn play. And that's a shame. Yeah. There's my that's a shame. There you go. Bang. All right. Yeah. But he answered the questions in the worst moment of his life. This is not going to be – if this is the worst moment of Rory's life, coming in second in a fucking major, then you lived a pretty damn good life, buddy. All right?
Yeah. I think you're judged ultimately by how you handle failure as opposed to how you handle triumph. And I think he handled it poorly. And I think he would tell you the same thing. I think his character has shown over the last few years that he's going to be frustrated with his reaction to this, I'm sure. But I mean, look, I'm going to read these stats real quick just so you have perspective on this. It's been 37 starts in majors since his last win in 2014. He has 21 out of 37 top 10s. In 11 of those 21, he was in the top 5, and 4 of them were runners-up. In the last 3 years alone, he's got 3 runners-up. In all 3 of those tournaments, he should have won, but none bigger than this one. This one, the tournament was his to win, and he just let it go. And so I can understand why he's so, like we just said, he's so goddamn frustrated. And I'm sure I was frustrated for the guy, just being a guy holding a $25 ticket on him to win. But also it's just, it's so hard. You really just have to try to do your best to stay level-headed and be professional as you can in these situations where you're losing, because that's where people are going to judge you. And we've seen it on the internet. I mean, people are running Rory through the mud, and rightly so. He fucking choked and he blew it and he didn't handle it well.
Well, I mean, screw the internet. I'm going to say screw the internet. I mean, just as a judge of people's character, it's poor form. It's flat out, it's poor form. It's the easiest way for me to put it.
Yeah. I don't think we need anything else to say on that. That's about
yeah.
I think we dragged him pretty good right there.
Yeah. I had a buddy put on a prop bet. So random. He bet the top Canadian and the top Asian to finish in the U.S. Open, and he won. It's Corey Connors and Hideki Matsuyama.
Corey Connors and Matsuyama. Yeah,
Yep.
I love that. That's great.
And also, you know how much I hate Canada. So I couldn't believe that he won that. I wanted him to lose. So
known Canada hater.
I don't even know why I hate Canada.
Scotty Scheffler made the cut on the number at +5. It looked like he wasn't going to make the cut for a while, and then a bunch of players in the late window on Friday were just getting eaten alive by this course. As we saw yesterday, just in the last couple hours, you can miss the fairway by 5 yards and just be in the worst lie possible and have to punch out and take bogey or double bogey into account. But Scheffler finished at +8, which was good enough for T41. +8 in most tournaments on the PGA Tour is going to be dead fucking last. He was 70th out of 74 in strokes gained putting this week of the guys who made the cut. That's been his problem all year. If he has a problem, it's with the putter. He gained strokes in every other aspect of the game, that being approach, wedge games, around the green, driving the ball, but he just can't putt sometimes. And look, he struggled. And it's good for golf that the world number one struggled so poorly, and the discussion is not just about that. It's about other stuff, because DeChambeau and McIlroy put on such a good show. And I mean, Cantlay, just the human Randall he is, just could not make a putt to save his life yesterday either. What did you guys see from Scotty, from the other guys who maybe didn't have great weeks? Was there anything that stood out to you?
I mean, the course is the thing that really stood out. That was, I think, the biggest star. Personally, I wanted Patrick Cantlay to swing and both his arms detached from his body. I think he's an absolute turd of a human. And he's American. You know what? Go to Canada. But I thought, and I want to ask you guys this before, and Brooks, please comment on Dusty's question. Do we feel the course was fair?
I think everybody was kind of yearning for that kind of. I mean, after the last couple showings where they just dominated. But I didn't like one thing I didn't like that I didn't think was fair was how they were watering greens after some groups went through. I don't think that's right. I think it should be the same. It should play the same all day. That's one thing.
Wait, you mean during the round they were watering?
I don't know which day. I don't know if it was every day, and I can't remember which day it was. Maybe it was Friday or Saturday, but there was a day where they were watering certain greens after groups went through, which I thought was bullshit.
You could tell. Yeah, you could tell certain times. Like there was one that Brooks sent me on Instagram or Twitter of Mark Hubbard, who I love. Hit a ball maybe that was going to look like it was about 2 or 3 feet from the hole, and it funneled 40, 50 yards off to the green into a waste area. Like that's
just
ridiculous.
watered it.
Like that kind of thing shouldn't happen.
No,
but
also
like
you have to
know.
I mean, look, all the players are dealing with this kind of thing. I don't know if they were watering in the middle of the rounds. Maybe they were. Brooks, Brooks, I trust you. I would imagine. I know that they were watering before each round. But yeah, I do want to give props to Patrick Cantlay for finishing T3 this week. After I said you can throw your money straight into the garbage if you want to bet on it. He's been terrible all year. He's been so bad all year. He has not played well. This is a course that fits his game, but he just had no form, and all of a sudden he came out and he was just lights out this weekend for the most part until Sunday. So shout out to him, even though as Brian said, he's kind of a loser and I don't like him at all.
at least he wore a freaking hat.
Well, he's getting paid.
Yeah, he did wear a hat. That's true. Yeah.
He's getting paid. He doesn't wear the hat when he's not getting paid.
Yeah, it's so weird that Tigers caddy Joe LaCava went to Cantlay's bag at the beginning of this year, and then Cantlay's just been terrible. Of course, Cantlay played well this week, but
yeah. So who's Tigers caddy now?
His name's Lance Bennett.
I think LaCava was on the bag.
No, LaCava was on Cantlay's bag. Tiger and LaCava have split. They're obviously still good friends, but LaCava had the opportunity to take Cantlay's bag. Cantlay's obviously competing a lot more and a lot better than Tiger at this point.
Yeah.
So they made that decision mutually. I don't know if Lance Bennett is going to be Tiger's full-time caddy moving forward. Also, based on the comments we got from Tiger this week, I don't know if Tiger is going to need a caddy very much going forward, because he seemed like he thought he played pretty well this week, and it still wasn't even good enough to make the cut. And I don't think a guy that competitive is going to be able to handle that for much longer. He just looks like he looked like he was hitting good shots and wasn't getting good results, but everyone was playing the same course. Yeah, everyone's playing that course. I mean, you got to deal with those conditions and find a way. And he said it himself. He's just not able to practice as much as he used to be able to. Those 5 to 10 footers that used to be routine for him, he can't practice those anymore. So they don't go in all the time anymore. So when he's got to make a big putt for par, he used to make every single time. He just doesn't have that anymore because he's not as in tune, and he can't be because his body just doesn't allow him to.
He's a defeated man in terms of his body, not mentally. He's still a competitor, but he just can't do it. And Dusty, you probably said it the best. I mean, and it's a shame because we want to see him win at least one more, right? It'd be, how cool would that be? I mean, you remember where you
compete.
were. Yeah.
Just have him in the conversation, you know.
Yeah.
One other thing I wanted to bring up too, unless you got something else on that, Dustin.
No, go ahead.
How bad does Zach Johnson look after DeChambeau doing this? I mean, the guy just continues to look worse and worse.
Yeah. For reference, Zach Johnson was the captain of the Ryder Cup team last year, and quickly after he decided on the finalists for the team, a lot of people came out and were disappointed with the way he handled the guys who didn't make the team. Bryson DeChambeau, being the most notable, didn't even get a call saying, "Hey, you're not on the team. You didn't make the cut." And he just came out and won the U.S. Open after finishing second at the PGA. Obviously he's one of the best American golfers, if not the best right now. I mean, other than Scotty Scheffler, he's on the short list. Zach Johnson looking worse and worse every week, it seems like.
Zach Johnson picked a struggling, probably one of the worst moments in JT's career. Took him over a surging DeChambeau, over Brooks Koepka, over Keegan Bradley.
Well, Koepka was on the team, in fairness.
Koepka was it,
yeah.
But
bad look for him. My pick of the week was Colin Morikawa. He finished T14 +2. He had 2 good days and 2 pretty bad days. Just couldn't keep it together the whole week, which was kind of the story for 90% of the golfers who played in this tournament. I want to talk about Ludwig Aberg because he looked like he was primed and ready to compete into the weekend, and was the leader after 36 holes and made a triple early on Saturday, made a triple early on Sunday, just kind of played himself out of contention on 2 really bad holes. Did you guys see anything out of him? Any other guys you want to point out in terms of who you saw this week?
I do. The top amateur looks like you, Dusty, and it's disturbing.
Yeah, I know. I knew this was going to come up. Neil Shipley is the top amateur in the Masters and now the U.S. Open. When on Sunday at the Masters, he was paired with Tiger, and I probably got 15 text messages that morning asking how I was doing mentally playing with Tiger on a Sunday morning at the Masters.
He looks like you,
not right.
And Jordan Spieth's caddy looks like Chris Merrick. Michael Greller.
Like
Merrick, So
I like that.
It's disturbing how our friends look like golfers. Very bad. I look like Bert Kreischer. All right, that's not good.
Bert's getting in shape.
Yeah, you look like Bert Chrysler.
Oh, I like that.
Notable guys who missed the cut this week: Tiger, Max Homa, Robbie McIntyre, Victor Hovland, Will Zalatoris, Ricky Fowler, Jason Day, Dustin Johnson. You stink. Justin Thomas, and Phil Mickelson almost came in dead fucking last. I think he shot an 80 on his second day. He's going to compete in the Masters maybe, but I don't see much out of Phil moving forward. He's getting old and he's looking at.
He looks like a skeleton. And closet stat that was dropped on the Peacock coverage: a lefty has never won the U.S. Open. That is stunning.
That's crazy. I know Phil's coming second 5 or 6 times in the U.S. Open, and that's the only major he never won. I mean, based on his game now, it doesn't seem like he's going to be able to win any. But he won the PGA 2 years ago, so who knows?
All right, worst golf shot: Phil's U.S. Open drive at Bethpage Black, or was that Wingfoot? Either one, doesn't matter. Whatever.
It was Wingfoot, I believe.
Wingfoot. Yeah. Or Rory's 2.5-foot missed putt in the U.S. Open.
The putt on 15 was significantly worse than the putt on 18. The putt on 18 was a 4-foot downhill slider that he started outside the hole and it broke right on the other side of the hole. That's a tough putt. He should have made it. He should have hit it harder, but that's still a tough putt. It's understandable. The miss on 15 is completely inexcusable. That 2.5-footer, you can't miss those putts. If he made 496 out of 496 in the middle or throughout this season, putts inside 3 feet, and that's the first one he missed. Come on, dude. You got to pick that putt. So yeah, I'd say that there's just so much more room for error with a driver than there is with a putter. Yeah, maybe they were both mental collapses, but the 2.5-footer, you can mental collapse a 2.5-footer and still make it.
No, they were mental collapses. We don't need to. Yeah. I mean, Phil hit a fucking hospitality tent. All right.
Yeah, that's true. He lives in the hospitality tents. He hit a couple good shots off of hospitality tents in his career.
And it's hard to putt with that tight of a butthole. I mean, I don't know how you putt when you can't fit water in your ass.
Do we want to do that's a shame before we move on to baseball?
Yeah, I mean, look, my that's a shame is Rory McIlroy. He completely blew it. Standing on the 15th tee box with a 2-shot lead, and you lost in regulation.
My that's a shame for the week is the Kansas City Chiefs player. Stay the fuck out of jail. Stop hitting people. Stop driving cars really fast. Stop being douches. Stop. It's like the entire Kansas City Chiefs team other than Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, decide to be assholes.
What a collab.
You want a Super Bowl? Stop breaking the law, you assholes. All right. Where's Liar Liar and Jim Carrey screaming in the phone?
Yeah, my that's a shame is the Pittsburgh Pirates letting up another stolen home. Another lollipop thrown back to the pitcher and just let him walk home.
Yeah, I did see that. The pitcher was visibly frustrated with the catcher. Was it Grandal?
I think Jared Jones.
No, but the catcher I think was Grandal. I don't know if it was for sure, but if it was, dude, Grandal, you've been in the league 10 years. You can't fucking do that shit. But yeah, that's ridiculous.
This goes back to what we talked about with Tim when he was on. These catchers now, and Adley is doing it. And you guys probably know where I'm going. The one knee down. One, you're exposing the living hell out of your crotch. I'm just going to throw that out there right away. But I hate to say lollygaggers because we're going to make fun of Bull Durham, right? But it looks like it's laziness. It looks like catcher laziness. This one move technique.
It's to get the low pitch is what it is. It's for framing purposes. Yeah. But it's also really hard to block a ball at that point. And like you said, you're opening yourself up to any kind of foul hitting you right in the quad or in the dick or wherever it's going to hit you.
Yeah. Also, I heard a term watching MLB Network the other day, a splinker, a splitter sinker. Stop renaming fucking pitches, baseball people. All right? The pitches have already been named. They're there. They're here. Stop it. Splinker?
It's just new. It's new stuff, dude. It's the same thing with the sweeper. It's the same thing with, any of these pitches. It's just they're just gonna keep getting renamed. It's a combination of a splitter and a sinker. But a sinker is already a sinking fastball. Yeah, it's a Paul Skeens pitch too, which means it's going to be overused to hell for the next
It's like
5-10 years.
the Vulcan changeup.
Yeah.
I mean, this is probably my get off the lawn moment. I know I'm old, but come on, dude.
No, me and Drew Burton used to have knockdown drag out fights about two seamers and stinkers, and I used to just like hammer home to him, be like, it's the same fucking pitch, dude. Just call it a two seamer.
Yeah.
Some people are better at getting more movement on it.
Yeah.
A splinter. It sounds like a porn name.
It sounds like a position you'd see in a porn. You want to try the splinter? You want to try the splinter, or maybe it's a toy. Hey, grab my splinter.
It's a toy.
Oh man, we're off the rails. We're off the rails, boys.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, just before we're obviously going to move into baseball, I just want to touch real quick the next week in golf. This week we have the Travelers Championship, which is at TPC River Highlands in Hartford, Connecticut. It's the last signature event of the season, excluding the British Open and the playoffs. What do you think the odds are that Rory McIlroy is going to be playing in this event? He is currently signed up to play in this event, by the way.
I think isn't he mandated? Aren't they mandating these guys to play in certain events now?
So they're not mandated to play in them. However, if they miss a certain amount of signature events, they're not eligible for the whatever the internet impact thing fund that they get. Player impact fund, something like that. So basically, the top 10 names in golf on social media and in media, the top 10 names that are portrayed by the sports media and are most talked about get a stipend.
Okay.
If you miss a certain amount of signature events, you are not eligible for that stipend. I think it's a significant amount of money. I think it's like $10-15 million to the guy in first.
And then he's going to play.
Yeah.
There you go. There you are.
I don't think there's a shot in hell he's going to play this week.
If he's going to be paying alimony, he's going to need that 10-15 million.
They called the divorce off.
Yeah, they called the divorce off. They got rid of those papers. We'll see how
they
that
called
goes.
They called the divorce off this week or last week, I guess I should say.
Yeah, and then Judge Judy gets involved, and then all hell breaks loose.
Travelers Championship next week at TPC River Highlands, and then after that we got the Rocket Mortgage at Detroit Golf Club, which is the one tournament a year that Ricky Fowler has a chance to win these days.
Once again, I'm going to say this: Ricky Fowler will win a major when he drops the IE from his name. Just go by Rick Fowler, and you are going to win a golf major. I swear to God, Ricky, if you ever listen
Fowler. Maybe when he gets onto the senior tour, he'll be Rick Fowler, and he'll just start dominating everything.
I mean, it's working pretty well for Scotty.
Scott Scheffler.
Well,
Scott Scheffler would be the least popular golfer on the planet.
Dude, the name Dick Fowler would be fucking incredible.
Hey, can we get Richard Fowler on the tee box, please?
All right, we're going to move into baseball. The Orioles are 8-2 in their last 10 games. They're 47-24 for the season. They are second in the AL East. They actually gained ground for the first time in a couple weeks on the Yankees. They're only a game and a half back. Only a game and a half back. The Yankees lost their series to the Red Sox. They lost pretty badly last night on Sunday Night Baseball. I watched that game. The Red Sox stole 9 bases last night, by the way, on the Yankees.
Yeah, that's stunning. I saw that. They broke their own record, and they broke a record. They stole that many bags. Now, is this attributed to the catcher being terrible, the pitchers being too long, or is this the bases that being larger? What do we think?
Or is this just them being like, fuck it, we're not going to win the division. Let's just cause havoc.
Maybe.
I don't know. Either way, I think the Red Sox were super aggressive. But I think that particular catcher, Trevino, last night has pretty bad numbers against the Steel. And then I guess the Red Sox just had a lot of good situations where they thought they could run. And, I mean, once you get to the point where you got 4 or 5 stolen bases, shit, I'd keep running too.
I hope the Orioles are taking notes. I mean, they might have just created a blueprint right there.
Yeah. Hey, and on this note, before we even go any further, Corbin Burns, I did not realize he was that bad holding runners on. Holy shit.
Yeah. He's pretty bad at it, but The good thing is that runners don't seem to get on very much against him, so
Don't need to
to
hold. Don't. That's the old adage, right? Don't need to hold them if they don't get on. But yeah, I don't know if he's that bad. Like I haven't figured that out yet. I've been thinking about that as well because his numbers are bad, obviously, with holding runners. But like he's got a slide step. He's changing up his times to the plate. I literally have not taken a stopwatch out and seen like what his time is to the plate, so I don't know that. So sorry.
He doesn't have a large leg kick or anything, and like you said, he's got a slide. He's got a slide step.
No,
going 95 to 98.
Yeah, he's got a really slow, like compact, deliberate motion to the plate, which I don't know if maybe that's affecting it, but
or he's got some
Usually McCann catches him, and Adley caught him yesterday. Did you guys think that was interesting? We were talking about that a couple weeks ago, that McCann always catches him.
I was thinking that during the game.
I don't know if and I was thinking it as well. I think this might be a product of how many games we have to play back this month. We only have one day off.
Yeah,
that's where my mind went.
Yeah, either way, they seemed like they had a good game plan. I actually saw, and I didn't notice this in any of the McCann when McCann was catching him, but it probably did happen. But I did see a couple times where Burns is clicking his pitch com for what he wanted to throw next. So I don't know if that's something that he was just doing with Adley. Okay. He wasn't doing it. Was not for every pitch. I was watching, but every once in a while, when he knew what he wanted to throw, I saw him go into his pitch com. So it's something I want to look out for when he has McCann behind the plate too. I'm sure he does it though.
Yeah.
But I did think it was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to talk about Gunnar. He turns 23 years old next Saturday. He leads the league in leadoff home runs. He overtook Kyle Schwarber, who we were playing against this week. He's got 8 on the season now. He hit 2 this week. He's second in the league in home runs with 22. He's second in the league in WAR with 5.0. That means he's won 5.5 games over an average replacement. And we've played 70 so far.
Are they home
that's
Saturday?
Pretty outrageous. I'm sorry.
Are they home Saturday?
This Saturday, no, they'll be on the road.
Oh, I was going to say the Chaucer should offer up some free beer and drinks for him. Some free beer and food.
Yeah,
I saw a great shirt.
In Houston.
Sun's out, Gunner's out, and it's him flexing with the silhouette of his face. Phenomenal shirt.
Yeah, we might need to get some Gunderson shirts made up. By the way,
I like that.
Shout out Hannah Burton.
Yeah. Shout out Hannah Burton. I don't know if it was Hannah or one of her friends, but that was a top conversation in our group chat a couple weeks ago. One of our friends asked a group of girls to name an Oriole, and the best answer was Gunderson.
That one guy, Gunderson.
Yeah, which is a sweet name. Yeah, so he leads the league in those categories, other than Aaron Judge, who's just eating baseballs for breakfast. Judge has 26 homers, 4 more than Gunnar. Only a 0.1 higher WAR, but Judge has obviously been the best player in the league this year. I don't think anybody's going to argue that. No. So we'll see how that continues. But for the fact that he's 22 years old, turns 23 next week, being able to do all this and do everything at an elite level defensively, he's been unbelievable. Yeah, do you guys have any kudos you want to throw to Gunnar Henderson? Anything you see in particular?
Yeah, we saw his competitive psycho side come out when he got thrown at, and then got pissed off that he hit a ball right back at the pitcher and sprinted as fast as he fucking could to first base because he was so mad that he didn't get a hit off the guy that went high and in on him. I was like, yeah, that might be the most competitive human being on the team right there.
I mean, when we talked with Ryan Ripken and he talked about how, hearing the crack off the bat, with Westberg and Gunnar, what gets me even more about Gunnar is his play presence. Like he is such, and same with Adley, by the way, just the ability to take pitches and then not to miss a mistake. When someone makes a mistake, they make you pay. And it's awesome to watch. And especially when they're going 1-2, lead off the second, hit second. I mean, come on, man. I mean, it's so nice to see young hitters.
Uh-oh.
We're good. We're back.
I'm here. Hi.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a lapse there, I think, for a sec. Brooks looks like he's he's there. Yeah. Gunner's unbelievable. It's so much fun to watch him play. It's really cool that he has another shortstop at the same time, another young shortstop in the league, and Bobby Witt, who's also doing unbelievably awesome things that he's going to be able to compete with, go back and forth on. It sort of reminds me of like the A-Rod, Jeter, Garcia Parra thing with him and, a bunch of these young shortstops in the league right now. Super talented guys. So really, really cool to see that just for baseball. Baseball needs.
I heard an interesting bar combo. Two guys who I don't know. They were at the bar, and you could tell they were baseball fans. And so I'll pose this question they had to each other. If we redrafted the draft with Adley and Bobby Witt, would we still take Adley? I said we still would because the catcher is more important than a shortstop in regards to how you handle a pitching staff. But it's a fair argument.
It is. It is.
I mean, you're based on team need, yeah, I guess. But I mean, you're getting a great player either way. I don't think you can go wrong either way.
Yeah, you're not going wrong either way. But it was just kind of like I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, it's
because
interesting debate.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, hindsight, no, because we ended up getting Gunnar to fill that role, and then we'd end up with two shortstops, and then realistically, we probably wouldn't have drafted Gunnar because we had Bobby Witt at that point. Yeah. So who would we have taken in that draft? So,
and then we might not have taken Holiday. We might have taken Andrew Jones's kid, and he is falling off the face of the planet. I don't know what happened to him. I thought he was going to be so good, and he's just I don't know. I haven't seen him on any prospect lists in the last 6 months. Tony is still tatering. That written down. Multiple home run game on Saturday. 3 home runs this week. Seems like he's just figuring it out. Even the outs he had, especially yesterday, he hit 2 or 3 balls pretty hard. It looks like he's starting to get locked in at the plate, and when he gets hot, it's so much fun to watch. When he's cold, it's no fun to watch.
His dick walks into the stadium 20 minutes before he does. I mean, he is so hot right now. He is Hansel hot, from Zoolander. He is so hot. It's awesome.
Dude, and not only that, he obviously we just saw it, just clutches anything right now, man.
Yeah.
He is Anthony Potatoes can't do anything wrong right now, it seems like.
Yeah. And speaking of not doing anything wrong, Craig Kimbrell, who probably we were on this podcast and a lot of Birdland was over the course of the last month or two. He's shutting people up. His last 13 innings pitch, he hasn't given up a run. He's got 17 strikeouts. His opponent batting average is .071. Is that good?
I heard.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Heard.
I need to eat. I need to eat shit on this one because I wanted him gone. I was so over it. I mean, he could have set himself on fire, and I'd been like, "Cool, sweet, man."
Well,
and I need to eat it because he's definitely shut me up, and he shut up a lot of other people in the major leagues.
I'll play devil's advocate here. Like I'm one of the guys who stuck up for the guy. I think, like you said, I think we were pretty easy on him in terms of the rest, like comparatively to the rest of Birdland. But again, this is another one of those stretches where we talked about, like, I think he's going to go on these stretches, and I think we're still going to get a stretch where he's going to struggle. I hope not, obviously. I just think it's going to happen just with the age. But right now, I mean, if he loses command, loses a feel of a pitch, whatever, it can happen. So right now, this is when we need him, honestly. Like, I'm so glad this is happening right now during this stretch, and it's not happening during a stretch where we have some depth out there or some rested players, some rested pitchers. But yeah, I'll play devil's advocate and say, like, yeah, he's awesome right now, but let's keep in mind the next time when he has one of these dips, we're just gonna have to
Yeah.
make it through a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
If it
It's
does
going to
happen
be
towards
undulations.
if it happens towards the postseason or if it happens towards the end of July, that's when when everybody was calling for us to go get the A's closer and whoever else they wanted us to get. That's when that conversation's probably going to get heated up a little bit more. But if he keeps pitching like this, we kind of have the leverage a little bit more. So
Yeah, and I think this is a good segue to go into what we're going to talk about now with the injury news and the pitcher needs that we have, given the Brad stuff. And Dusty, I'll let you lead this.
Yeah. So, with reference to the bullpen, just off the bat, Danny Coulomb went on the IL last week with elbow inflammation. He said he's hopeful that it's not serious, but they're doing a bunch of tests. They don't have we don't have any information really on the severity of the injury.
it's not good. When it's
And then
quiet.
Kyle Bradish. Yeah, it's not good when it's quiet. And then Kyle Bradish. I think we're all holding our breath as hard as we can on. But he went to the IL with another UCL. They're calling it a UCL sprain, which could lead to Tommy John. It depends on the severity of the sprain. It's the same thing he was dealing with 2 or 3 months ago. He came back. He looked great. I think last week we were worried because he took an extra day or two before his start, and then he came out and had 9 strikeouts, and he looked great. But Brooks was calling it. It looks like he was doing this with his hand like Brian just did. And he left after 76 pitches. He told Hyde his elbow hurt. They're doing more tests, but I think this is not good.
When you're doing this and shaking it out, something's not comfortable.
And they fucked him. I'm sorry. I trust the Orioles. I really do. And I've talked about on all these casts how much I trust the new regime. They fucked him. They fucked this one up. You could tell. I mean, if to the blind eye, you could see he was not comfortable. And they kept letting him go. That's bullshit.
Yeah, he needs to speak up too if that's the case. He could have been fighting for himself out in the background, saying, "I'm good, let me go," which is cool.
You're right. You're right.
But there is some hopeful stuff I've seen on Twitter, but like again, we're not going to know anything here quite yet. But I mean, in that last game, in the last 2 games ago, I mean, he threw 98, 98, 99 to Harper in that one at bat, and then an inning or two later, he's down to 93, 94, which is fine. But it's interesting. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if he needs extended rest, like at the beginning of the season, or if this is something where we just need to get it over with.
I think I'm going to go the latter there, Brooks. I'm not going to say get it over with. Just do it. And I hate to say it because it sucks for our season, but just do it.
Yeah, if he can get the PRP shot again and get some rest and we can get a couple good starts, great starts out of him again here. He's missing 2026 or 2025 no matter what.
Yeah.
So do we try to go that route because he's not fully torn yet? I don't know. So
yeah,
I think this is where they go to him and say, "What do you want to do? It's your body, it's your career."
I agree.
They have to. I mean, that's the only fair thing to do.
Yeah.
I agree. And knowing the competitor he is, he's probably going to say, "No, I want to help the team get through this year, whatever it is." So,
yeah.
I mean, we've seen players do crazy things with their body just to try to win. Remember, Ronnie Lott cut his freaking finger off and went out there and played the next week. Yeah, it sucks.
And then you see Strasburg try to sit out the playoffs because he's at his pitch count.
And then Jabba Chamberlain. Yeah, Jabba Chamberlain, I think now sells cars.
I don't think he needs to. He got paid.
He's got no Jabba Chamberlain.
He's got no Jabba Chamberlain.
He bought all the cars and he's selling them
now. We got a rehab start yesterday from Dean Kramer in AAA Norfolk. Yeah, he gave up 5 runs, only 2 were earned, so some rough defense behind him. But through 59 pitches, 37 strikes, he went onto the DL 15 days ago, May 21st on the 15-day DL with a tricep strain. He's saying his arm feels better now. Obviously, he's working through some stuff. Didn't have his best stuff in his first rehab, but that's why it's a rehab start. Maybe you get 1 or 2 more in, and throw a couple more pitches and see how that goes. So yeah, I mean, hopefully he'll be back. The fact that we're going up against the Yankees in New York in a series that means a lot, we're a game and a half back, and our three pitchers are Cole Irvin, Albert Suarez, and Cade Povich. That's scary.
Buzz, your girlfriend. Wolf. Fuck.
Sounds like 3 wins. Sounds like
damn
3
it.
wins to me, boys. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I need the negativity out of here. That sounds like 3 wins to me.
Yeah, it's scary, man. I don't know. I have faith in our organization, and obviously it's still the middle of the season, so it's even if we get swept, it's not the biggest deal in the world.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll get swept because I think our bats are that good, and I think Tony Taters is going to hit 80 balls over the right field wall in New York. But yeah, it's scary. It's definitely would be awesome if it was Burns, Rodriguez, and Bradish. But you got to find ways to win games. That's how we've been doing it all year. We've been grinding.
I think Aaron Judge is
season
going
is
to hit
grind.
16 balls over the Edbury fence. He might actually hit 1-2 Jersey, given those pitchers. Okay.
I don't think we should pitch to him once in this series.
No, just hit him or walk him. Yeah.
I don't see us. We're not going at him at all. We're going to pitch. We're going to be very.
Yeah.
We're going to be
picking at corners.
Yeah. Yeah, and speaking of guys who don't miss bad pitches, if you throw a hanger to Aaron Judge, that thing is going into orbit. So,
yeah.
If you want to throw a changeup low and away, I don't care if it's 2 feet off the plate. Don't throw it in the zone.
I think something we need to bring up in a couple, either next week or 2 weeks from now, is we need to look at some trade candidates for the Orioles.
Yeah. We were talking about that in our group chat. We're definitely going to be doing that sometime in the next couple of weeks. Keep an eye out for that. We're going to be doing some potential trades, some long shots, and some more realistic stuff probably. Yeah, that'll be fun. Brooks already mentioned the closer for the A's. His name is Mason Miller, but when you said it, my mind went to Mark Mulder because I'm just trained that he's – I don't know why because he pitched for the A's. But it's definitely not Mark Mulder. It's Mason Miller.
The double M's get you every time.
Oh, my God. He's pitching to Geronimo Heel, all right? Jesus.
Jorge Julio. We got alliteration all over the place.
Oh, man.
Speaking of old-ass Orioles, Corbin Burns posted his 10th straight quality start. He's only the 6th Orioles pitcher to do that in a single season, and the first since Jeremy Guthrie in 2007.
Oh, get out of here.
How awesome is that?
I got another one.
Jeremy Guthrie.
Got another one. He has not let up more than 3 runs in a single start this year, I believe. Last player to do that. Maybe it's earned runs. Last player to do that. Any guesses?
Bedard.
Rico Lopez.
I mean, I was thinking Musina, but it was on the broadcast yesterday. Jim Palmer.
And why are we jinxing this?
I mean, that's an outrageous thing.
He's going to give up 9 runs his next outing.
I'm knocking on every piece of wood I got in this room right now. Yeah, and I want to bring up Grayson's game the other day. 7 innings, 2 runs, 6 Ks. In his last 7 starts, he's 5-1 with a 2.3 ERA, 43 Ks in 42 innings. He's walking less guys. He's giving up less hits. He's been great. So I definitely wanted to highlight that since he came back from that little weird nagging injury earlier this year. He's been great. Jackson Holiday, injured list with elbow inflammation. It's not considered to be serious long term. I think it's one of those things where he's just like, hey, this doesn't feel super comfortable, and the organization is being super careful about it. It's also a way to just keep the hey, bring Jackson Holiday up people at bay for another couple weeks. So we'll see. I mean, I'm not reading too much into this. We'll see how it ends up going, but they're saying it's not supposed to be a big problem.
Based on some of Elias's comments, it sounds like Holiday is gonna be. He's at least gonna be up. He's gonna be eligible for the playoff roster because he really thinks that he's gonna make a huge impact by the end of 2024 season. So it sounds like he's gonna be up at some point. So
I kind of heard some of the same You heard Brooks. He's going to be up.
And at this point, it's hard to bring him up
Yep.
with, I mean, with the guys that we were talking about early in the year that were not producing, that are now starting to produce and have good at bats, and Urias, and obviously Mateo's still playing out of his mind after his injury. I mean, we can't even get Stowers in the lineup right now. Kowser's
He's been
starting.
good.
I know. Kowser's making a name. Setty's starting to play better. Hayes is starting to play better. Yeah, I mean, there's not a spot to bring him up right now. But again, these things aren't going to last. Like, somebody's going to go and somebody's going to need a break too. So
Yeah.
People are going to need breaks. There's also going to be a break, in regards to someone's going to get hurt. I hate to say that, but it's just natural.
yeah.
And we're going to end up dumping one or two guys for a pitcher, and then that will open up roster spots. Maybe that's major league talent, maybe that's minor league talent, but we're going to need to have to make a trade, and at that point, you will have spots open.
Yeah, and we'll discuss that when we talk about potential trades. We'll discuss whether we think we should deal minor league talent, major league talent. Who do we think we should deal? So, like I said, keep a lookout for that episode. Kobe Mayo, just the last thing on the injury news. Kobe Mayo came back from his injury. He's played 4 games since his return with Aberdeen, and he's hit 3 home runs in those 4 games. 3 doubles, 6 RBIs, 2 walks, 6 for 13. Looks like he's back, completely mashing in what is it? Is Aberdeen's long season single A?
Long season single A, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So long season single A. I'm sure he'll be back up on the AAA roster next week, and then obviously we'll be right back in the discussion of people we can bring up if we need to. Somebody gets hurt, or if they want to go a different direction. So
I don't know how he's back right now with a cracked rib. Like, he said it's not. He said after it happened, it didn't bother him after a couple of days, so he could have come back sooner. Like, I don't know with the swinging and everything rotationally wise with baseball, how that's not bothering him, but obviously it's fucking not.
They sent him to Florida to rehab a rib. How the fuck do you rehab a rib? I'm just serious.
You sit still.
You
Yeah,
sit still. How the fuck you got to go to Florida to do that? Just stay in Aberdeen.
I don't know. Maybe the vitamin C is good for the cracked ribs. Just go lay on the beach for a little while.
I got Magnum PI telling me over here that you go to Florida or Hawaii.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit already. Upcoming schedule today is our only day off in June. I don't know what the hell I'm going to put on the television at Green Turtle tonight. I guess it's going to be the NBA game, but yeah, I don't know what to do with my hands when we don't play.
NHL tonight?
No, tomorrow. Hockey's tomorrow. We have a road trip. We have 3 games at the Yankees and 3 games at the Astros this week. And then next week we come back and we play 3 games at home for the Guardians, who are one of the hottest teams in baseball. And we play 3 games at home for the Rangers, who swept us last year. So we have a little bit of unfinished business with them at home. So yeah, this is a big stretch. We've been talking about it all June. We talked last week. We said we'd be okay with 3-3 through the Atlanta and Philly series, and we went 4-2. So look, keep going. Try to make 500 through this tough stretch, and then pick up your games later in the season. If you pick up more games than 500, that's great. If we can take 2 out of 3 against the Yankees to start, that would be a great start.
Being 500 this month, if you come out of this month 500 or anywhere remotely above, that is a victory all around, because this is the stretch where we're just going to get battered.
And somewhat healthy.
The great teams we're playing. Yeah.
Yep.
Somewhat healthy, even though we're not. But
yeah, I mean, look, we lost. It looks like we lost Bradish. I don't know. Fingers crossed.
We don't know
yet. But we don't know yet. We still want to wait for news on Coulomb, but it's really hard for me to say his name properly. Colombo.
Well, where's the blue one?
Colombo? I feel like this is a campaign situation.
All right. Around the league, Mookie Betts breaks his hand. Damn it.
Yeah.
I want to say this. And it sucks for the Dodgers. It sucks for baseball. It's the same thing with Acuna. we need these guys.
Yeah.
It just stinks. And
we need Betts. We need Trout. We need Acuna. We need Ohtani. We need all these guys.
How does this freaking guy move to shortstop and become like a top 3 shortstop? That's fucking nuts.
I mean,
it's insane.
It makes me mad, but damn it, I'm mad when he's gone.
So good.
It's a 6-time Gold Glover in right field, and he's playing.
He's gonna win another one. He's gonna win another one.
He'll win the fucking platinum glove.
At a completely different
position.
No timetable yet available for his return. He got hit in the hand yesterday, so we're recording this on Monday, June 17th. So he got hit yesterday in the afternoon game. So, he broke his hand. I don't know how long he's going to be out. Kind of depends. I'm sure they're doing x-rays and all that stuff, but it sucks for baseball, like Brian says. And we're wishing him all the best. The Dodgers are obviously a great team, and they'll be fine without him, but he's one of the best players in the league. So the sooner he gets back, the better it is for baseball. We touched on the Yankees already, losing 3 of their last 4. Brian's got something to say.
Before we get off baseball, because I know we're moving to NFL here on the rundown. It's 10-year anniversary of Tony Gwynn's death. Favorite baseball player of all time. Dustin is a Tony Gwynn hater. He doesn't have him in his all-time lineup. You're a bum. And I got his hat on too, the Tony Gwynn hat.
You can't say that we're Tony Gwynn haters when we come from a family that our whole dad's side of our family grew up as San Diego Padres fans and love Tony Gwynn.
Dusty didn't have him in his all-time lineup. He's a hater. I'm going.
So, for those of you who don't know, and that's going to be like 98% of you, we did an exercise in our baseball group chat a couple of years ago where everyone would make a starting lineup of players that played in their lifetime. I had Tony Gwynn on the bench in that instance because Ichiro was my starting right fielder. I was born in 1994. Tony Gwynn retired in 2000. I saw a ton of Ichiro. I didn't see a ton of Tony Gwynn. That's why my lifetime lineup doesn't have Tony Gwynn in it. When I sent that lineup over, Rogers lost his absolute shit on me. And he's been calling me a Tony Gwynn hater. I think I'm still on his phone as Tony Gwynn hater. Yeah. I don't hate Tony Gwynn. I love Tony Gwynn. I just saw a lot more Ichiro in my life. So that's just how I base my all-time lineup.
Well, I'm not going to show you
we might have to do that. We might have to do that on instead of a snake draft one week. We might have to do an all-time lineup one week.
Yeah.
I don't want to show your phone number on the podcast, but you are still in my phone as Tony Gwynn hater. If you can see that.
Hey, it says doctor up there though.
But no, it's 10-year anniversary yesterday. And I heard his son talk on whatever, I wish I could give courtesy to wherever it was produced, or broadcast. But hearing his son talk, kind of like it brought a tear to my eye because his son has that nasally, like high-pitched voice that Tony Gwynn had, and it almost made it sound like Tony Gwynn was talking again. And Delaware Dave has a phenomenal stat about he's still the all-time leading rebounder at San Diego State University basketball. And I might be making it up a little bit.
It's assists. Yeah.
Assists. There you go. Still the all-time leading assist guy basketball-wise. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So.
Again, our uncle played. Our uncle went to San Diego State and played multiple sports there as well. Also loves Tony Gwynn. We are not Tony Gwynn haters.
Yeah, well, he's not in my right field. He's not my right. Your uncle is not my right fielder. Okay.
I'm just saying we love Tony Gwynn in this family.
I love Tony Gwynn, but I saw a lot more Tony Gwynn saw a lot more Ichiro and Vlad Guerrero than Tony Gwynn in right field. Moving on to the NFL.
Yeah, moving on.
We're going to quickly talk about the NFL. Trevor Lawrence got paid. Highest, I think, one of the highest average annual value of contracts. I think this is going to be the case with pretty much every new contract that comes with quarterback. 5 years, $275, $200 million guaranteed. Do you guys think this is warranted? Do you think this is just kind of where the league's going? Do you think it's a little bit of both? What do you guys think about Trevor Lawrence as a quarterback?
Brooks, go ahead.
I think this is the Jaguars saying that we think we can win with you, and I mean, you can't start over right now. I mean, they went so long without a quarterback, and obviously Trevor Lawrence is freaking good. I mean, he ripped up the Ravens defense a couple years ago. So,
Yeah.
and this is just where the league is, right? I mean, it seems like every contract that a quarterback is going to get is going to break the one before it. The guaranteed money is the money I look at. He's still not the highest paid, in my opinion, because I look at guaranteed money, even though his potential money is the highest. But yeah, I mean,
is this contract warranted for what he has done? No. Simplistic. No. Is this the Jaguars organization needing to make a statement along with Doug Peterson, who said he would not have taken the job unless Trevor Lawrence was there? This is the Jaguars basically making a commitment to both of them with one contract,
as they should.
Sure, and both of them have done a very sustainable and great job at what they need to do. But is this contract and this money warranted for what he has produced? No. And I want to go to the state of the league, and like Brooks just said, this is bullshit. I'm sorry. The next guy up doesn't need to be the next highest paid player. This is a revert back to the draft when Sam Bradford got like $60 million and he never played a snap in the NFL. This is bullshit. Dak Prescott is like a top 8, top 10 quarterback. He shouldn't be the highest paid quarterback next. He shouldn't. He's not worth it. Sooner or later, like, a Baker Mayfield contract is a very good example of this. He took like $22, $24 million, but he's going to have a 3 or 4 year career with the Bucs, and they can put a team around him that's going to be successful.
I think part of it too is the problem that Jacksonville is a very small market team in relation to the rest of the NFL. So if you're Jacksonville, you have to overpay for good players to stay there or come there. So I think they kind of just knew, based on the fact that, look, franchise quarterbacks don't grow on trees. I'm not saying Trevor Lawrence is a franchise quarterback. I think he's incredibly talented. I think he's above average. I think he's got the potential to be a franchise type quarterback. I don't think he's shown that yet. But if you're Jacksonville, what other option do you have? I don't think you're going to be able to convince a quarterback who's on the free agent market to come to Jacksonville unless you're going to pay them a crazy amount of money, because Jacksonville is historically not won shit. And number two, they're a small market team. So I think I think if you're Jacksonville, you kind of have to do this. I do agree with Brian. I don't think it's a good trend that the next guy, the 8th best quarterback in the league, should make the most money in the league just because he's the one getting paid at the time. But I think that's kind of the trend line we're on, and we're just going to have to get used to the world that we're in.
Yeah, and that's fair. But what ends up happening, and this isn't an indictment on Trevor Lawrence, by the way. I want to make that very clear. Yeah. But what did you say? You pay this quarterback to be your messiah, but you can put nothing around him. That's penny smart and dollar dumb. Okay, how fucking awesome are you going to be when you're on your damn back trying to throw the football because you have no offensive line because you can't pay him because you paid the quarterback? I mean, see Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow actually had the quickest release time last year. It was like 2.43 seconds, and he was the most sacked quarterback in the league last year, which makes no fucking sense whatsoever.
Yeah, I think this was a paycheck based on potential as well. I mean, what's his biggest weapon right now? Christian Kirk.
Calvin Ridley went to Tennessee. They drafted Brian Thomas in the first round at LSU.
Which we'll see.
This is my point. We can't name half the fucking people on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So I think the Dolphins have done a good job of this. Like, they need to, and they probably already have. You're basically selling that you get to come to a place where it's going to be warm year round. It's going to feel good on your body if you're a little bit older. There's no state income tax.
Big.
Which is going to throw whatever you're going to make through the roof compared to other places like California, wherever. So both the Jaguars and the Dolphins did a terrible job of this in the past, and I feel like the Dolphins are finally starting to figure it out, which we're going to talk about next with Calais Campbell going there. You get to market like this is going to year-round warm, right? Most of our games are going to be played in a warm climate. Is our division, do we have a bunch of indoor games and stuff like that in our division? Like, you're just going to extend older guys' careers. People want to live in these places. There's no state, like you said, the big thing is no state income tax. That's what's selling these places. And that's where I think Jacksonville could potentially get to. And I think what Dustin said is right. I don't think they have a choice, right? Because
they don't.
There's not a better option. And you don't want to sit here in another 10 years to try to figure out who the quarterback's going to be again, because then you're going to lose your coach as well.
No,
so because I like Peterson.
Yeah, it's a rock hard place situation. I mean, without a doubt, they had to pay him, and I understand it. And once again, it's not an indictment on Trevor Lawrence. It is not. But I just feel like he's going to be on his back the entire goddamn time unless they draft really well or find some diamonds in the rough that want cheap money. You know, it's going to be the case, and it's somehow, and you know, we come, you know, the three of us come from a place where we love the Ravens, and they do such a great job of finding, you know, these 4th or 5th round guys. Jacksonville does not do that. They just don't.
No, but they do have a ton of money to spend down there. So, I mean, if anybody's got the luxury of money to play with, it's them.
Yeah.
So,
hey, and they might be playing in London for the rest of their lives. Yeah, who knows?
The last point I'll make on this before we move on is I think he could just be average for the next 5 years and he'd still be the best quarterback in Jacksonville Jaguar history. I couldn't tell you who the best quarterback in their history is.
Great.
It's maybe Mark Brunell, maybe Byron Leftwich, David Garrard, Blake Bortles.
It's got to be Brunell, right?
It's got to be Brunell. Yeah, Brunell won playoff games.
Bortles, all right, you better get it right.
Blake Bortles almost went to the freaking Super Bowl with that crazy defense they had a couple years ago that beat us like 44-0 in London. By the way,
I remember that. I opened up a bar early for that bullshit.
I know. I went to that bar that day before my shit at Asperger's.
How was that said bar?
I got there at 9 a.m. I had to be at work at 1.
Oh, man.
Yeah. 6-time Pro Bowler Calais Campbell, former Raven great, signed a 1-year deal with the Dolphins. I think he's like 38, 39 years old. He's like 6 foot 100. Good for him. Staying in the league, still cashing paychecks, still pretty effective. I think he was pretty good for Atlanta last year. Whenever I watch Red Zone, I remember him popping off on the screen. And he was great for the Ravens. So I have nothing but love for him. Good for him. I hope he continues to make as much money and play football as long as he wants to.
Great dude,
and everything he hears, he's a phenomenal human being.
Yeah.
And a great voice. Sounds like a cartoon.
Yeah, he does.
T Higgins, this was weird. I didn't think this was going to happen. T Higgins signed his franchise tender. Him and Jamar Chase missed mandatory OTAs. A lot of people thought that he was going to sit out until he got a long-term deal. It looks like him and the Bengals, or I don't know what happened, but the Bengals have convinced him to sign this franchise tender, which means he is going to be at training camp. It just means basically he's not going to be a Bengal after the end of the season.
No.
So I have a question for you. Why are you surprised about this?
I thought he was going to hold out and just try to get traded. I think maybe the Bengals got into the situation where they just realized, or that he realized the Bengals were just never going to be able to pay him, and at this point, he's just got to show out and make that money. But yeah, I don't know. I thought he would sit out.
He understands his situation. I mean,
so
from him signing his tender, this would be where a Jacksonville Jaguars could get this guy. But do they have the dough?
100%. 100%.
They do.
Next year they will. 100%.
Okay.
So my thing is T Higgins has zero leverage in this situation, right?
Yeah.
Like even if he wants to sit out this year, why would he? Because then he's not making a guaranteed $24 million. Why the fuck would you give that up, right? So all along he was going to sign this. He was just going to sit out for as long as he could to try to force a trade or try to force a contract, which isn't going to happen. We all know that. So he was stuck in a rock and a hard place. His only play here was to sit out as long as he could to see if he could force a trade, because that could potentially be good for the Bengals to get some return on him. But that was his only leverage, really. But I mean, realistically, they're sitting there like, yeah, he's going to make a guarantee 24 million or whatever. It's somewhere, it's like 21 or 25, somewhere in there, that he's going to make guaranteed this year. And you're not going to sit out and not take that money. I mean, it's just not.
I need these problems where I'm forced to take $24 million.
Yeah, boo-hoo, right?
and for T Higgins, look, he's not a number one. He's probably going to get paid like one. I would say he's significantly. I would say he's a significantly better receiver than Christian Kirk. And Christian Kirk signed a 4-year, $84 million deal a couple years ago. The market's getting higher, especially for receivers. So T Higgins is probably looking at something in the $90 to $100 million range. So I understand why you don't want to take $20 million, but I think Brooks's point is correct. I think he had no leverage, and this is what he's forced to do this year. And hopefully he doesn't get hurt. He's going to be able to make that $100 million next year.
And even if he does get hurt,
no one can answer. I'm assuming, and I believe he is a product. Or do you guys think he is a product of Jamar Chase being on the other side of the field?
Hard to say.
I think to a certain extent, you're a product of your quarterback and your surrounding talent in general. But I think
that's wide receivers in general.
Yeah. But I think the skill set and his ability to create separation and his ability to get to balls that other receivers can't, I think that pops out when you watch the Bengals. So yeah, obviously Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow help, but I don't think that's the biggest reason that he's that exceptional football player.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's wide receivers in general, right? Because they need so many other things. They need so many other people to do their job for them to eat.
Yeah.
That obviously having another good wide receiver to take attention away from you is going to help as well. I mean, but also, I mean, look at Devontae Adams. Like he's still putting up numbers. Yes, he's still a great receiver, but he's not putting up number one receiver type numbers because we all know he don't have shit there. So because he needs
Steve O'Connell brought to him. He has some guy who sells. He sounds like my tax guy.
Yeah, I mean, you need a lot of other people to do their. You need a lot of other people to do their job well for you to do your job well. And when you find yourself on a team that's not happening, it's hard to produce numbers. So,
all right.
Are
we drafting?
We are going to draft. We are going to do a snake draft as we always do. We're going to do 5 picks per person. This snake draft is the best chips. This is not chip aisle. This is just chips. It could be tortilla chips. It could be Pringles. It could be whole wheat chips if you want to do Sun Chips. But we're not going to go Cheetos, cheese puffs, other stuff in the chip aisle. We're going to save that for another day. So this is going to be brand and flavor.
To all the viewers, piss off. I don't want to win. I want to come in last every time.
We also only get 5 picks. So if we forget something, just know we did not forget. We know if you call out something like how was this not drafted, we know. We know.
We're aware.
It's just we only get 5 draft slots.
We didn't get these lovely figures by not eating all the chips. Okay.
Yeah. I've gone into detail. I've got roughly 10 to 12 chips I can pick from for these 5. So 16. If you guys take all of them, that would suck.
I have 16 written down. I'm a loser. The first pick is Brooks, and if he doesn't take the overall number 1 Maryland chip, we're out. We're done. We're canceling this. Brooks, go ahead.
Man, I really don't want to take it, to be honest with you.
Brooks, take your favorite chips. Stop pandering so much.
I'm not. I am taking my favorite chip, which is man, do I do?
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I know what Brooks' favorite chip is, and I know what Brian wants him to pick.
Give me Doritos Cool Ranch.
Oh my God, that's not even close to what I thought it was going to be. Okay, I'll take the crab chip, number 1. I'll take the crab chip. I get number 2.
Who's pandering now?
Crab chips. The crab chip, I'm going to take it because now Brian can't have it. And I think I'm going to get my number one anyway, so we're good.
All right.
Brian, you
I
get
get
to
two.
go back to back here.
Yeah. All right. I'm going a little Maryland based. I'm going Royal Farms horseradish cheddar.
Okay.
I had that written down as well. That's a fantastic chip.
And I'm going Utz Carolina style barbecue.
Ooh, good one.
I also had that written down. That is a strong start. Carolina barbecue. I haven't had those in forever, but God, I love those chips.
So good.
Yeah, I was able to get my number one overall in the second round. Like I thought, I'm going to take the Kettle salt and vinegar, sea salt and vinegar. I think that is the perfect. I think that is the perfect chip. Kettle. Kettle is the brand. Kettle sea salt and vinegar. I think that is. I had some yesterday. I mean, they're just.
Give me. I mean, fuck it. I mean, give me just
two in a row.
Give me regular Doritos nacho cheese.
Wow, he's going heavy on the Doritos out of the gate.
You have a Doritos sponsorship we're not aware of?
No,
he's gonna go with sweet chili next.
No, but I would love one. I mean, those are heavy hitters, right? Those got to be number one overall.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are great chips.
Yeah.
I'm not taking anything away from you here.
And so I got a question here. Can I go with another salt and vinegar brand?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're going Cape Cod, right? You're going Cape Cod?
No.
He might go Utz or Lay's.
Give me you know what? Give me just the Sun Chip Harvest Cheddar. How about that?
Wow.
Okay.
That's a strong chip. That's a strong chip.
I don't want to, because I mean, I love salt and vinegar everything. So I mean, I like all the brands. So
there you go. Okay, so for my number 3, I'm going to take Miss Vicky's jalapeno chips.
Well done.
Those are great chips. I love them.
That was my next pick.
Yeah.
Well done.
There's a plethora of jalapeno chips I would take, but that's my personal favorite, so I'm going to go with those.
All right. I'm going garden salsa sun chips.
Yeah. Strong chip as well.
Yes, and then are Fritos considered a chip?
I think so.
Yeah, it's a corn
chip. They're like a score.
Yeah.
They're like a scoop. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm going the barbecue twist Fritos.
Oh man.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a strong entry. We used to eat a ton of those as a kid.
That's another one I forgot about actually.
The barbecue twists. Yeah, those things
the barbecue.
Yeah, the twisty guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Carolina barbecue is not available. Give me Ruffles sour cream and cheddar.
Good call.
It's a fantastic chip.
On the list. Well done. Brooksy, close it out for you.
Yeah, he's coming back.
I want the Kettle brand Honey Dijon, and this is a new find. This is a new find as of vacation. I had not had these before until my brother-in-law and his wife brought them to vacation in Hilton Head. I'm a freaking addicted to them right now. The Honey Dijon,
and
they have to be the Honey Dijon. There's another Dijon that they have. Got to be the Honey Dijon is better.
Is it what color is the bag?
It's like yellow.
It's a yellow. Okay.
Yeah.
Main biscuit. I know what you're talking about. Gotcha. And you got the party size. You got the party size pulled up first, which I love.
Yeah. Gotcha.
We grew up on BJ's and Costco. We're party size everything,
including our bellies.
Yep. And Brooks, you actually get 2 in a row to finish off your draft.
Oh,
so your last pick is up. And he's got no salt and vinegar chips.
Stunning.
I gotta do one. Give me the Miss Vicky salt and vinegars.
Okay. Miss Vicky salt and vinegar.
Yeah.
That's a strong answer. That chip could have gone in the 1st or the 5th round.
Yeah.
That's why I asked you. I was like, "Are you going kettle or are you going Miss Vicky's for that song?" I need a clarification.
And it's
Oh
funny 'cause
man, I
I
could
like
go
the
so
Cape
many
Cod.
different
I
ways.
like the Cape Cod salt and vinegar way better than
Yeah.
the two that you picked, but they're all
I like-
good.
I like all of them. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm between two chips right now, and
Between two ferns.
I'm gonna take the Zapp's Voodoo chips.
Are you kidding?
I don't know if you've ever
Okay.
had Voodoo chips,
Okay.
but they're so good.
Okay.
It's literally my next selection. You son of a bitch.
I think I stole all of his draft picks.
Yeah, Lay's can go ahead and fuck right off in this
Yeah.
draft.
I told you, dude.
Lay's
Lay's out.
All right. I just need to do it just for shits and giggles. I'm going wrap snacks, cheddar barbecue potato chips. They got Snoop Dogg on the fucking label.
What?
Show us a picture. Show us a picture. I have no idea what you're talking about. Get it closer.
Wrap snacks.
I have no idea what the hell that is.
So Brian's gonna come in last, which is what he wants. So it makes sense.
Honorable mention, real quick though. Doritos sweet Thai chili, killer.
Yeah, I almost took them, but I took two Doritos.
Tostitos hint of lime because it's universal.
No.
Kettle, the Kettle brand. Do you like the honey Dijon? I love the peppercini. It's like a neon green bag.
I love it. So good.
Yeah. I can't believe you took Zapp's Voodoo chips. That pisses me off.
I waited too.
I'm pissed off that I forgot the Tostitos hint of lime chips. Those are like the most addicting chips.
Yeah. I have some honorable mentions. Plain Ruffles. I love Plain Ruffles. They're so good. And just any sour cream and onion chip, I'm all in on. Utz in particular, the ridged sour cream and onion chips from Utz are real good, especially when you get the folded over ones. Yeah, those are elite.
I can't believe a barbecue chip. Now I know I took barbecue twist. I can't believe a barbecue. Oh yeah. Okay. But like regular barbecue, mesquite or something or smoke.
You got three barbecue chips in your freaking thing, dude.
I would say I like barbecue chips. Like, I mean, so obviously I'm never taking regular chips. If I'm going to like Jimmy John's, I'm not taking a plain chip. That's boring.
Okay.
Fuck. I'm going salt and vinegar. I'm going barbecue probably.
Yeah.
I'm stunned.
Yeah, a lot of
no sour cream and onion went.
Justin had one.
Did you?
No. I had cheddar sour cream. No,
you had
no
the cheddar sour
cream.
cream. Oh yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
We're gonna get some. We're gonna get some shit for that.
Oh, we're gonna get.
That's all right. That's all right. No Lay's sour cream and onion. Just no Lay's in general on this list, which is great. We're from Maryland, so we're Utz and Hers people. To hell with Lay's.
I'm not kidding. If you haven't had the Royal Farms horseradish cheddar, it is so fucking ridiculously good.
Yeah,
I could.
If you like horseradish, I mean, they're unbelievably addicting. If you like horseradish, you will not stop eating that bag. I promise you.
And everyone needs to know, cheese curls were not allowed on this. Those are poofs, and goldfish are not chips. They are a cracker and they are fish.
Cheez-Its are crackers. Yeah, we couldn't take party mix. We couldn't take anything like that. I love.
Yeah, so I don't want to hear your bullshit about like cheese curls or whatever. Like we would have taken a lot of other stuff, but this was chips and chips only.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not crackers.
You got any honorable mentions there, Brooksy?
I think you took all mine actually. The only other one I would say is maybe like the Tostitos scoops for like a dip or something like that.
Universal.
Yeah.
But
that's about it.
And that's why I mentioned the Ruffles plain, because if you get that with a French onion dip, that's pretty much undefeated.
Yeah.
Anything hell of a good dip.
Oh yeah.
I heard Trader Joe's dill pickle chips. I just got yelled at. I guess someone was watching live and just came in.
Dill pickle chips, huh?
Off the top rope.
I've had dill pickle sunflower seeds before.
I'm not a pickle guy. I'm not a pickle guy, and I'm not a jalapeno guy. So that doesn't resonate with me.
Kirsten coming in off the top turnbuckle here, just opening the door, yelling.
By God. Out of nowhere.
All right, so I'll run through them real quick just so everyone has it, and then we'll make a graphic and we'll throw it on Instagram so you guys can vote. Please vote.
Please vote so we can keep making fun of Brian.
Yeah, if you just keep making fun of us, we don't actually have any feedback. Yeah, obviously Brian's drafts are terrible, but let him know by
I have no feelings. No feelings. All right.
He's wearing a Ken Caminetti jersey. Snake draft. Doritos Cool Ranch, Doritos Nacho Cheese, Harvest Cheddar Sun Chips, Kettle Honey Dijon, and Miss Vicky Salt and Vinegar is Brooks' team. My team is the Utz Crab Chip, Kettle Salt and Vinegar, Miss Vicky Jalapeno, Ruffles Cheddar Sour Cream, Zapp's Voodoo Chips. Brian's team is all of my rejects because I took all of his picks. Royal Farms Cheddar Horseradish, Utz Carolina Barbecue, Sun Chips Garden Salsa Flavored, Fritos Barbecue Twists, and the Snoop Dogg Wrap Snack Cheddar Barbecue Chips.
And not the Trader Joe's dill pickle.
Not the dill pickle chips.
Fuck Trader Joe's and their dill pickle chips. All right.
If you guys want, interact with us on social media, talk to us. We're always here.
Couple giveaways coming this week, guys.
Yeah, we have a couple of giveaways. We do this podcast every week. We have hats, we have merch, we have other stuff we're gonna ask you guys for your feedback on. And we're gonna be back here every week. So if you guys want to throw a like, comment, subscribe, if you want to hear us,
maybe back tomorrow. Maybe back tomorrow, but we're not sure yet.
Yeah, let me know, Brooks. Hey, happy Father's Day to Brooks. Happy Father's Day, buddy. I love you. I care about you so much. Happy Father's Day to all the guys that are watching, or any fathers that are watching, or that watch us later. All right.
Happy Father's Day to Tony Pops. Happy Father's Day to Big Glenn.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Tony
Giddy
Pops.
up.
I don't know Kirsten's dad's name.
Eric with a K. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
Eric
I don't know. You can trust Eric with a K.
Eric Larson.
Yeah.
Happy Father's Day to him. Happy Father's Day to Doug Carr.
No, happy Father's Day to all you guys. And once again, we say it every week, kind of at this point, the last 3 or 4 weeks. Talk to people. My favorite part of this is I get to talk to my friends. I get to be happy with these guys. I'm happy with you guys as well. They're all the viewers, and I appreciate you guys very much. And I love you guys so much.
Cheers, guys. We'll see you guys next week, and thank you very much for tuning in. This has been another episode of Gary Williams Stole My Lawn Furniture.
Yeah. Next week or tomorrow. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see you sometime.